Hey guys, John here, and today it is B&Q tool returns. I've been waiting for this day. Stockport Pallet Warehouse had a full wagon of B&Q returns delivered today, and I am first here to have a look through these big old box pallets. Every single one is different and they're all random. Some stuff looks well used, so I'm pretty sure we know why they've been returned. I've spent £1,000 on 4 pallets, and I'm eager to see if I can break even or make some profit. Let's see what's coming up. We find some top name brands. Whew, that looks nice. I nearly get sparked out. And our chances of making a profit go up in smoke. Oh, that one's definitely going in the bin. So let's get into it. Right, so I've got all 4 pallets back at the workshop, and I'm actually in a bit of a temporary set because I needed some more space, but they are pretty chock full of stuff, and I can see some top brands poking out the top of some of these boxes. Ryobi, D-Wall, everything is here because these were delivered by Stockport Pallet Warehouse. They delivered them all here, and everything that I spotted that kind of drew my attention to these 4 pallets is still on them. And just so you know what we're gonna do with all these tools, when we find some good working ones, we're gonna be selling them on Whatnot. What is Whatnot, I hear you ask? Well, if you don't know by now, it is an auction platform, and it's pretty exciting, quite high paced, and I sell tools on it every Monday. And the big test really is how much of this stuff works, because it's great to see D-Wall, it's great to see Ryobi, even the Abauer drill pack. Looks good, but we know it's returns. And why are people returning stuff? Well, generally because they broke it. So hopefully I'm not absolutely stuffed with a load of broken tools, and there's only one way to find out. Let's get into it and see if any of this stuff works. Right, so straight off the back, we've got a couple of DeWalt tools. They have got return labels on, and I can see that one says faulty. But what I'm gonna be doing is just basically getting everything sorted, and then we'll go through and test everything, because I'm gonna have to get different batteries and chargers and things just to make sure everything's working, so, or not working, we'll find out. But we've got a DeWalt 18 volt XR jigsaw, and we've got another one, same model. This one's got a return label on it as well, and that one says faulty. It wasn't that long ago that it was faulty. Look, June 2025 received, and this one was also 18th of June 2025, so there we go. And we've got a third DeWalt item. This one is in a case. Whew, that looks nice. Well, we've got a charger and some batteries, and they belong to MA. There's a little bit of a trick for getting permanent marker off. I'll see if it works on this. So you can just use another Sharpie, rub over the top of the existing permanent marker, and then it should just rub off. I've made it worse there, but if I get a big wipe, I can permanent marker over, big wipe it and clean that up. But he's gone a little bit to town with some red stuff, but working battery, and it looks like it's charged. I've got a second one here as well, and that one looks like it's working. So I've got 2 batteries, both 5 amp hour, got a charger, and an 18 volt 16 gauge nailer. That's pretty nice, an angled brad nailer. Oh, there is a return label on this. It just has stopped working. Oh, look, and a sad face. And that was 2015? Let's say 2015 this was returned. Goodness me. Well, the batteries work. I do quite like cases like this because you can usually pick them up quite cheap. You can use a multi-tool and cut the gubbins out and then put foam in there and use it with whatever you want. So maybe we'll do that if we don't find a better tool case in amongst all of this. Right, next up, this is a bit of more what I was expecting when you think B&Q returns pallet. Gardening stuff. We've got a McAllister strimmer. Returns reason. Faulty. Returned in June. They've put it through its paces, look. This little bit of Copex has really, look at that, it's really had a twist. No wonder it's gone faulty. Can you return that as a fault when you've done that to it? Well, we've got a McAllister strimmer. Henry Hoover, now there's always a happy face we like to see. That's a beastie battery, isn't it? Karcher, 18 volt, 5 amp hour battery. I'm not very familiar with Karcher battery power stuff. Well, that's something. They're running the Henry Hoover on Karcher batteries. That looks pretty brand new, that does. I think this is going to be the pattern. It just says faulty basically, nothing else, just faulty. A couple of new accessories, and that just says it's faulty. So I'll plug it in and test everything in a bit, but that Henry looks quite tidy. But before we crack on with the video, let me tell you about this week's sponsor, Whatnot. And what is Whatnot? Well, it is an auction platform, brand new, and if you like auctions or you like getting a bargain, you're gonna love Whatnot. I sell tools on Whatnot every Monday night at 7 PM, and I have done now for about 3 months and I've been really loving it. And every week I've got different tools, different brands, really high quality brands, but always different stuff. And it all starts at £1. Bidding starts at £1. We run 10-second auctions on every item and we move really quickly through the show. And it's a great crack. You can get your questions in. I have a bit of chat as well with everybody watching, and you can grab yourself some bargain tools. So what is not to love? And what not isn't just for tools. You can also get Pokemon cards, coins, collectibles, Lego, silver and gold, Amazon returns. So if it sounds good to you and you've not used the app before, make sure you use my referral link. I'll put it in the description, and that way you can get yourself £10 to spend on the app, which is pretty amazing. You get a lot of stuff for £10. So it's £10 for anyone in the UK, €15 if you're from Europe, or $15 in the US. So make sure you use the link down below and claim your credit, and hopefully I'll see you on Whatnot and pick up some tool bargains on Monday at 7 PM. We've got another trimmer, but this time it's a Bosch grass trimmer. Oh, there we go. We've got stuff coming out everywhere. We've got a Bauer battery. It looks like it says smelly blooming colon, to be honest. Put liquid came out. There's a diagnosis. And we've got a couple more Karcher batteries, and that one says faulty. Got another one, faulty, lovely. And a Bosch trimmer that seems to be all there. That one's got that classic electrical burning smell. Doesn't smell like grass, it smells like electrical burning. Oh, well, there's something I wasn't expecting. Flipping hell. I thought that was a strimmer or something from the side of it, but it's flipping 3-meter pool. Hole in the bottom. That is flipping a crazy return. 3-meter hole in the bottom pool. That's just opened up the doors now. It could be anything in here. What else we got? Got a lawnmower. So we've got a McAllister lawnmower. Oh, there we go. First hand tool. KS Secateurs. Not a brand I've seen before. It doesn't look like something B&Q would sell. Maybe they've snuck in the box from something else. But we've got another Henry Hoover. This one looks more tated than the last. He's happy though. Another happy fella. We've got another Henry. Oh, another happy fella. That's the Henry XL. Fair play, big brother. Oh, that's cool. A little cordless chainsaw from McAllister. It says it's got a battery and a charger. Hopefully that works. That's nice. That is also what you might consider the main part of a lawnmower, or just a lawnmower. This is just the first pallet. I'll tell you what my feeling is. This is a way of offloading a mountain of broken rubbish onto people. I'll tell you, it's not a bad business plan, is it? We've got a battery powered strimmer. I wonder if that'll work with the same battery as that. Not strimmer, hedge cutter, hedge trimmer. Same battery as the McAllister stuff. Hedge trimmer, doesn't say what brand it is. It looks Bosch colours, but I can't see a Bosch logo. But that's something to test. Well, I found the handles for the lawnmowers. Lawnmower, a little babby one. Broken handle. Not only has it got a broken handle, it's got no cable. Cut the cable off that. A couple of little Brucey bonuses in the bottom. We've got a Karcher battery charger and then a little Bauer compact 3-amp battery. Well, I think that's the first pallet, and I'm feeling like that's pretty much of a bust because I'm looking at all that mess thinking it all looks knackered. But we'll plug a few things in and test them. But I think what we'll do is we'll do the second pallet. That'll be 2 pallets, then test everything, clear it all up. Right, on to the next pallet, and this lid has collapsed, but right on the top, we've got another Bauer tool, and I'm not quite sure what this is. I'm assuming it's some sort of like multi-head attachment, kind of arborist chopper. You've got kind of like a telescopic pole, which is quite cool. And then it's got like 2-prong electrical connections on there. I don't know what attachments would go with it, but we'll give it a blast. Hopefully I find something else to go with it. Something with Dremel written on it. That looks like a holster for one of their Dremel tools. And there's something else Dremel. Oh, that's nice, a nice empty box. So this is where you would have had, oh, there you go. That's the attachment to the Dremel, like the little fine engraving tool that attaches to a Dremel. A few little attachments, nothing else. Oh, there's the box. And that one says faulty from June. It's all from June pretty much. But we're getting there. We've got a Dremel, we've got a box, we've got the box within the box. And then we've got something from WRAPUP in a box. Started smoking on usage. Smoking's bad for your health. You wonder where I bought the pack of cigarettes, don't you? Started smoking on first use, that's a bad sign. And there's the combi drill falling out the bag. That's got a battery though. Dead battery. This one says, connection not working when charged, won't work on product. Okay, so I think that's just a return for the battery, and then there's no return on that, but again, more stuff to test. Nice to have a bit of Ryobi to test. So we've got a circular saw, battery, and a combi drill. The table's filling up. We've got a nice bit of a selection going on here now. Oh, and there's the Dremel. Dremel 3000. So I think that's completed the Dremel kit. Wow, there we go. That is the mother load of McAllister stuff. I mean, I think I know where I want to start. DeWalt and a Bauer battery. No return label on that. Oh, it's flashing, so it might not be dead. When they're absolutely down to nothing, the chance of it taking a charge is pretty low, but that's got a flash on it. This just says faulty. Keep stopping, keep stopping. Well, that might have been the user. That might have been the user kept stopping. We can live in hope. He just keeps stopping, my fella. Get going on that sanding, will you? Oh, it's the sander. Well, we've got another thing for the DeWalt pile, so that's good. Just open it up from the front. There's a few big boxes in here. I don't really want to lift out the top. So I think we've got the McAllister jackpot on this pallet. Wired stuff as well, so not all battery powered. Grinder. These are just loose as well with no kind of returns labels on them. Although there's an empty box for a grinder there. Just says faulty. Edge trimmer. Big old edge trimmer, that one. How many grinders is that now? I think we're on that with the 5th one. 6th one. Making a loud noise. Grinders are pretty loud. I mean, there's every chance you just don't realise how loud a grinder was. I'll get this off the top of it. We got a big old miter saw. This one's got a ticket. It says, guard broke. Oh, well, maybe it works and we've just got a broken little guard here. That's not awful. That is not awful. That's what you like to see. That's not a bad return. And put back in there for relatively tidy. Hopefully that works, and maybe it's not even a majorly broken guard. We could just glue it or something. Got a friend for the Henry collection. A Karcher. It's not for one of the Karcher batteries we've got though, because it's got a lead on it. Look at that, whatever that is, that's got a replacement plug on it. They've chopped through the cable a few times on this. Surprised you're allowed to return that. This is a hedge cutter that has been through the mill. And they've chopped through their lead at least a couple of times to make it that short with that plug on it. And they've still accepted that as a return. Pretty hopeless. Aha! Ryobi. Faulty, no blue ticket. Looks relatively tidy in the box, this. Ooh. One of the saviours of the pallet. Something tidy. It's a shame. It looks used enough that it could genuinely broke. I thought we might just have a new drill there then, but they've obviously kept the packaging nice. I'd be surprised if that works. But that looks tidy. This is a cool Ryobi item I've not seen before. Doesn't start. Not entirely sure what this is. Oh, I think this is like an arbor kind of attachment thing as well. Aha! I think this is to go with that. And that creates a long cable. Oh, I hope that works. That'd be cool if that worked. Come on, come on. Fingers crossed that one works. Another grinder. Another grinder. That must be 16 grinders. 17 grinders. 20 grinders. A lawnmower. Woohoo! A Ryobi battery. And some Karcher batteries. Not found a Karcher device yet to plug batteries into. I think we can consider that one done. We've got a lawnmower and another cable trimmer, but that is another completed, what are they? Not working. Sort of diffuser thing. Oh goodness, what a mess. What a mess this is. So I think at this point, probably worth testing some of this stuff, creating a dud pile and a good pile. Hopefully there are a few items to show for the good pile, but I can test the batteries as well. And yeah, let's see what works and what doesn't work and do a bit of a tally up before I get into the next 2 pallets. Stinks. You've jammed the trigger. This will be the first one that I think, well, maybe it's just because that mechanism's broken. We'll see if we can salvage that one later. The first item that's not categorically dead. There you go. That's the first item that works. Not quite. That gearbox must be knackered because that's not spinning. And obviously the chains come off. But the battery and the charger work, and maybe they'll power something else up. Oh, that one's definitely going in the bin. How have they got away returning that? Knackered, no plug on it. They've done well getting that through the B&Q returns, haven't they? Tell you what, from this pallet, we have a total of 9 grinders that are kaput, 6 that just don't turn on, so the fuses could be blown. So it's 9, 15, 16. This one seems to work, but looks ropey. So I've just taken the fuse out of the mitre source to give it a test, and rather than running it my multimeter, I thought I'd show you this little hack I saw. I've never tested it, but hopefully it works. So essentially I've got the 13 amp fuse here, put it on one of the digits, and if I touch the top there, if the fuse is not blown, you'll see it's got the connectivity through. If it was a blown fuse, it wouldn't do that, because basically your screen is measuring capacitance. So if you just touch it with something plastic, it wouldn't work. It has to have a capacitance. So having the metal all the way through the fuse unblown, it will work. So how cool is that? So that fuse is good, which means the mitre saw is broken. I've just given that a knock and it started working. Well, that is the first thing that I think is perfectly fine. I think they just chopped the lead off a couple of times. To be fair, that is actually a moulded plug, so it is just a really short lead. Very strange, that, isn't it? Finally, something decent. Oh yeah, that's stinking. Broke as hell. That one works. Both of those work. Tell you what, we're getting a bit lucky with this hedge trimmers. We're gonna have all the hedge trimmers working. I'm pretty confident we can fix that quite easily, so that is on my good pile. Scores on the doors, it is slim pickings of good salvageable stuff. Most of it, every single grinder was knackered. Even the ones that worked were either missing bits or just so tattered the bodies were knackered on them. Most of them sounded like as rough as a bag of nails. What we've got on here though is pretty much everything I can salvage. The batteries I want to test at the end because I'm guessing we're going to find some more batteries, and a lot of them don't even have the lower single light on, so I think they are knackered. That's what we've got so far, and we're halfway through. So I paid £1,000 for 4 pallets. That basically is 500 quid's worth, which to me is like a dead loss. It's not even worth the time and the effort for that so far. Hopefully we find something better in the other 2 pallets, but it's not looking hopeful, to be honest, because I thought these 2 were the best 2. But the other 2 pallets are pretty stacked with stuff, and this one here has got lots of smaller parts in it. So let's get into it, see what we can find. Maybe we'll have better luck with those. Look, that's all still wound up on the original kind of cable holder, so you never know, maybe we'll have some better luck on this pallet. Missing staples. Ah, so that's better. We'll take a missing staples. That should be working then. Yeah, that looks pretty brand new, to be fair. Just missing staples. Oh, well, I'll tell you, if we end up with a few bits that actually work, that would be very, very welcome. This one says, nails don't attach to wall properly. Well, I'll take that as well. Hopefully that one works, and they just don't know how to use it. So maybe we've got 3 staple guns here that work. Smoking found in return cage. Right, well, there's a few things here, so I might have to just get all the McCalla stuff out. We've got another one of those, 2-in-1 drill. Smoking. Smoking or non-smoking? Smoking!
Smoking or non-smoking? Non-smoking. Smoking!
Doesn't work. Not smoking, though. Non-smoking. Smoking or non-smoking? Suddenly stopped working. Non-smoking. Chuck broke. Chuck broke. Great singer, Chuck broke. Got some great tunes, Chuck broke. Base plate missing. We'll take a base plate missing. I do like that. That's music to my ears, base plate missing. Motor spins but not drill. Won't start. It's non-smoking, we call that, non-smoking. There's something else. McAllister staple. Keeps jamming. It's jamming. Must be Jamaican, that one. That one's Jamaican me crazy. Keeps jamming. Stapler. Not putting staples in wood correctly. We've got a few sets of lights, another set the same. Customer says daylights are not working. Issue with the wire. Bad connectivity, faulty wiring. Another McAllister drill. Cutting out. Non-smoking. Warranty faulty, not charging. The warranty was faulty. Look at that, the flipping warranty was faulty. Never taken something back for a faulty warranty. Product is fine, but I'm not happy with the warranty. Smoking! Say, I'm always happy to find extension leads. I hope the extension leads work. Not working. Just not working. It's just not working. That one looks next to new, doesn't it? I'm hoping these are just fuses. Oh, there's another one. Smoking or non-smoking. Faulty chuck at front. But the chuck on the back is fine. Just the flipping chuck on the front. See more stuff here. Oh, look at that, another grinder. I don't even want to test it. They're all knackered. Every McAllister grinder. Emitting black smoke. I definitely don't want to plug that one in. I had enough smoke from that first one. Smoking or non-smoking? Kept randomly cutting power. Ooh, a little drill, a little impact gun. Broken chuck. That's Chuck Luke's brother. Temperamental working. Chuck part fell off. Oh, we'll have a lot of spares. We can put another one back on it. Bolt jammed. Overheated. That one's smoking. Drill head fitting broken. There's a lot of these with like I've said, the head's fallen off. You can see that one's fallen off as well. Tell you what, McAllister 2-in-1 drills are worth avoiding. There's a bit more McAllister. Spins too slow to sand. I'm interested to see that. How slow is it? Oh, look at that. Magnuson. Line and point laser. Bits that hold tripod are broken. Hey, that's the first bit of Magnuson in there. Bits that hold the tripod are broken. Nice. Box fallen apart. I tell you, we'll have that. That is the best one. Box fallen apart. That's going to be best pile. Lights. Wonder if the problem with that one is the box is a bit broken. Why have they even included the box with that? Taking the mick. Stapler. Might be a problem with plug. Does not turn on. Right, so all of this looks like miscellaneous broken electronics, to be honest, small stuff. It'll take me a long time to go through it all, but I will go through it all and organise it. But I am kind of chomping at the bit to get into the last pallet and just know what we have found. So we've got all the McAllister separated. I'll test all that after. We're about £750 down. I don't think there's much to salvage it really, but maybe there's a hidden gem in the last pallet. Let's get into it. Right, on to the last pallet. I will remove the shrink wrap. Hopefully something salvages it, because so far it is absolute. Would not recommend at all getting a B&Q returns pallet. Let me know in the comments what you think. If this looks tempting to you, if you think you wouldn't mind having a mooch through a returns pallet, let me know in the comments. I think I'm taking one for the team here. The Amazon returns was one of my top favourites. Let's have a look. What's this thing? An interesting looking case with a Black & Decker Scorpion saw in it. Maybe it works, we'll find out in a minute. I'll put that in my testing pile. And then we've got a Bauer on the top. Hopefully we end up with an Bauer charger in here, because we've got Bauer batteries. Does not work. We do like a bit of a Bauer. Oh, that's a shame. That looks brand new, to be honest. So we're missing the combi drill, we're missing the 2 batteries and the charger, but we've got one, I'll take one impactor that possibly is brand new over a load of broken stuff. So that is pretty good. I'm happy that if that works, that is pretty good. Evolution multi-material sliding miter saw. That doesn't look knackered out like most other things. Ooh, box is a bit tattered, but multi-material saw. Can't release nut to put blade on. Bolt over tightened, couldn't put bolt on. Hopefully I can get that undone because then we'll be all good. Next we've got a bit more McAllister 1200 watt router. Just says faulty, no proper label. Box is tidy. Router looks pretty tidy, to be honest. That could be good. That could be good. Smells a bit of an electrical burning smell to that box though. Oh. It says faulty, not working. We've got another multi-material cutting saw. This one doesn't have a label to tell me what's wrong with it. Hopefully the blade's over tightened again and we can just get it where, oh no, this one's got a bit of duct tape on it. To test that one as well. That looks like it's a slightly different model to that one. We've got a tile cutter. What is that? I think a doctor brought this one back. It says paracetamol. McAllister tile cutter. Ooh. This is a big old Bauer saw, but it's kind of attached to a few other things. That's a heavy old miter saw, that is. Compound sliding one. That is heavy. Then we've got a charger for a McAllister charger. That might work, it might just be off display. It's got a little thing with it. A Flymo. Ooh, missing parts instructions. We'll take missing parts. Bosch jigsaw with just missing parts. That could be decent. We've got another absolutely massive miter saw here. Ooh, oh, it's not that. It's a big box, not as heavy as it looks actually. Oh. Last but no means least, a Ryobi chainsaw with a 4 amp battery and a charger. Could this save the day for us? Return reason, there isn't one. This just says faulty. Is it worth £1,000? I can tell you straight out the gate, they've returned it without the battery and the charger. So they've done a number on B&Q there. And they've also been cutting round corners. Cutting round corners, there's no chain. We've got half a chainsaw, a bent rail, no chain. And it is battery powered to be fair, it's just got a little oil tank on the side. What a bust. What an absolute bust. Tell you what, the amount of effort I've had to put in to go through that, and I've still got to test everything. Let me get it all organised, let me get it all tested, and I'll give you a final roundup of what 4 full pallets of B&Q returns costing over £1,000 results in. And I can tell you the first thing it results in, a heck of a lot of mess and a load of trash, a load of rubbish. But let me do a big tidy up, get everything laid out, and I'll talk you through what was salvageable. So there we have it, that is all 4 pallets gone through, and I've got an absolute whopping, very heavy pallet of broken power tools here, which is going to go to the scrap yard. Optimistically, I reckon there's probably 40-50 quid's worth of scrap metal there. I've got that to send off, but at least that'll be recycled. On the table, I've got 4 working extension leads. They just needed fuses, so that's good. I mean, they're £20 a piece. 2 15-metre extension leads, a 10-metre, and then what's this one, a 5-metre. I got 2 5 amp hour DWAP batteries that work, so that is really good. They're 40 quid each. We only had 2 working Bauer batteries, a 2 amp and a 5 amp, but the Bauer impact gun does work, so that was a pretty cool pickup, so happy with that. So at least I got something pretty new and pretty good. I was happy with that, so that's cool. I got a couple of chargers, 2 they work, so we've got 2 Ryobi chargers and a DeWalt charger, so they're pretty cool. In the way of hand tools, there was just a random pair of pruning shears from K&S, which must have accidentally made their way into that pallet. And then 2 of these Magnuson little torpedo levels with lasers on them. And the actual clip that came with them was broken, so these are both fine, so that was cool. And then these are all the Duff batteries. We've got a bunch of Bauer Duff batteries, 2 Ryobi Duff batteries, and nothing I can do with those, to be honest, so they'll have to be recycled separately. And over here is basically everything I was able to salvage. So we've ended up with 10 of these McAllister 2-in-1 drills. Obviously they're a very budget drill, but they all work. There were so many of these and I managed to get 10 and I put them in the best boxes too. So I've got 10 McAllister 2-in-1 drills. We've ended up with 9 of the staplers. These are like little pin nailers and staplers and they all work great as well. 2 of the little orbital sanders. The Henry Hoovers, I'm not throwing away because I've got one that works, this one works fine, and then the other 2, I'm pretty confident I can make one good one. And this one here is like brand new. So I should end up with 2 Henry Hoovers out of that lot. I've got 5 hedge trimmers, including the Ryobi one, which all it needed was the trigger freeing up, so that's good. A couple of Ryobi bags, a couple of other extension leads, and then we've got the McAllister miter saw and the Evolution miter saw. And funnily enough, this one, whoever was trying to change the blade didn't realise a screw on a blade is basically a reverse thread. So they were trying to use it like righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, and obviously they couldn't get the nut undone, and that was all that was wrong with it. So that was one of the best little pickups, this little Evolution multi-saw, which is pretty cool. But all things considered, is it worth the time and effort? No, I would say absolutely not. Everything was just a letdown. Every DeWalt tool I picked up, every Ryobi tool I picked up, they were broken, but they were properly broken. There weren't many minor breaks. You can tell anything that was branded was properly check tested, and I bet you those pallets have been picked through a few times because everything I found that looked cool, anything that was a proper brand was entirely knackered. So there you have it. Was it £1,000 well spent? I don't think so. There was a heck of a lot of effort just to get to this point. We got £50 for the pallet, and it's sad to see how much stuff is broken and how much stuff will inevitably go to landfill, but we will try and get rid of all this responsibly so batteries can go to separate battery recycling, and anything that's working, hopefully you can get for a bargain on Whatnot, starting at £1, because every Monday night I sell tools, and we always have Jonna's Bargain Bits, who's right at the end of the show. I sell light use tools, and all of the tools here, the drills, the staplers, they'll all go into Jonna's Bargain Bits over on Whatnot, so make sure you use the referral link down below, because then you'll get £10 to spend on the app. And it's not just tools on Whatnot, you can also get Pokemon cards and other collectibles, Amazon return pallets, clothes even, there's everything on Whatnot. It's a very, very fun platform. And don't forget, if you need foam for your toolbox, we sell 30mm, 50mm and 70mm shadow foam in 9 different colours, and it is very easy to use. You just lay out all your items exactly where you want them to go. Cut around the shapes with a sharp knife. I use a scalpel that come in our cutting kits, and cutting kits come free with most orders at shadowfoam.com. And then once you've cut all the way around, you just peel back layers to create inserts for all of the objects, whether they're a big old chunky object or a very small slim item, and that is a nice little toolkit. So there you have it, that is £1,000 worth of B&Q returns. Let me know in the comments what you think of that. Are you tempted to pick up a B&Q returns pallet? I would advise against it, but maybe you do it just for the fun and maybe you'd get lucky with your returns. Hopefully you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments if you did, and also click that hype button. The new feature on YouTube is you can click the hype button to support smaller channels, so if you did enjoy the video and you want to help me out on this big loss, click the hype button and I'll see you next time.